I don't have a vlogging camera. I'm using my phone. See. I have a 2-year-old. Anyways, Bear's 2. He does this. He can't do the 2 fingers, so he goes, I'm 2. Obviously, live for this. I love to craft. I love to make things. So it was so much fun. I think I started about a month ago. Yeah, that feels like about right. Like a month ago, maybe 6 weeks out. I was like, oh, his birthday's coming up. I better do something for this. And I did. So I thought I would show you while I clean up, because we already had the party last weekend. I thought I would show you all the decorations that I made, all of the like stuff where I got everything from, because obviously I bought some stuff for the party. And then, yeah. And I just thought it would be fun to like document it while I take it down, because as beautiful as it is, I'll show you. Our house is a mess because obviously we just had a party. I feel like I need to get a microphone too. That's on my list. Backing up 6 weeks when I was like, oh, Bear's birthday is coming up. Bear's 2nd birthday is coming up. I better do something. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. My first idea was just like a 90s party, which is funny because I'll insert some pictures at the end. My husband said all the photos look like it's a 90s party, which just like makes my heart so happy. And anyways, wasn't in love with the idea, was still kind of like noodling around what like we should do. And then I was on IKEA looking for something for our house, I can't remember. And I found this little rocket ship. It is made out of cardboard. It's super cute. He can get inside of it. It has little holes. I didn't realize the top was like that, so I just stuck the balloons in it for the party. But it was only like 20 bucks. It was not bad at all. And I was like, okay, perfect jumping off point. And then I came up with, which other people have, I'm not like taking credit for this idea, but I decided I wanted to do a to the moon theme, Camp Bear. So we wanted it to be, I wanted it to be like space themed, like space camp. I wanted to have games and just have a lot of fun. And just a side note, moving forward for the camp thing, I really want to do that for a lot of his birthdays, like do Camp Bear and then just do like different types of themes and do like a camp. Anyways, back to this specific birthday party. So we got the rocket, which I love. Some of our party guests decided to decorate it with all of the stickers that I provided, which I'm not sure how I feel about that, but you know, like kids are gonna be kids, so I'm not like super disheartened about it, but anyways. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in his room. I'm not exactly sure where, but this was one of the things I knew we would have after the party and he could play with it. And it's made of cardboard. He can like destroy it if he does end up doing that because he's a little kid. So once I knew that we were gonna do a camp theme, a space theme, I was like, okay, now I can start crafting, I can start making stuff. And the next thing that I made is this garland, and I'll get you a close-up of it. I have it in a couple places. I have it on here. It's on our arrange hood and back here, and also in a lot of different places, but it is just these little cutouts. So we have stars, sun, spaceship, a planet, Earth, and then it just repeats. So there are 5 of them, and I just made them on my iPad and imported them and cut them out on my Cricut. So they look really cute. I'm really happy with how they turned out. I'm actually gonna have them listed in my Etsy, so I'll link that below. If it's not there now, it will be very soon. So I'm gonna have these. You can do all different types of things with them. I made garland with them. I also made the cake toppers with them, and you could make little, like, you could blow them up bigger and put some like in your yard, like leading up to the door. Like, I think they're just cute little, very simple but like statement piece. That's, I think, my vibe. You know, I really like something clean and polished, not like overly done, and that's kind of like the vibe here. Like I said, I definitely like a 90s aesthetic, and I really wanted like the homemade party vibe, but like elevated. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like that's kind of what this is, which is like super cute, very like nice, very well done, but not like crazy. Like, you could replicate this very easily, I think. So I'm really happy with that. I'm gonna move this now so you can like we'll jump ahead. Don't want to kiss. There it is. Got it. I wasn't sure if it was gonna fit. So like you see, I draped a bunch of stuff between our two chandeliers. So I just wanted it to be like, feel like a party vibe. Obviously, I think it gives that. I made these paper chains. They're like 3 inches. I think it's like 3 strips per sheet of paper. So I felt like it was a better look. I first did like the just 1 inch strips, but they just look so pathetic. I think this looks a lot more fun, and it was very cheap because I just had to use the pack of construction paper that I already had. So it cost me $0. And then I just put some of the crepe paper here. That's what's hanging on the wall. And then I cut out, this is a gold sheet of scrapbooking paper. It's kind of thick, and I just cut it out on my Cricut and glued it to thread. So I felt like it was like fine enough, you can't really see it, and it almost looks like they're floating, which I think is really pretty. And then the balloons. And the way I did the balloons is really easy. Like you can buy spools of elastic. I just had some. So it looks like this. It's just elastic. You tie it to one balloon, and then you basically just add a balloon at a time, take your elastic and just kind of like twist it in and around them, just like wrapping them together. You can kind of see like it knots them all together really well, and then you can stick more together. I do like groupings of 4. I find that pretty easy, and then you can just, like I said, stick them together. You can pull it apart and put another balloon in there, make like a whole arch. But it's pretty easy, and that's how they're like wrapped around up top. So I'm gonna have to take that down. Yay. And then what else? There's a lot. I had to take a break because my battery died, so I was just doing something else, and now I'm like doing this. So I'm kind of sad to take it down because I'm obsessed with how good it looks. And yeah, and then over here where we had the, let me show you. Can you see that? Like over here where we had the rocket, I also had a cake, and we bought like a book that was all the planets and just had like a little vignette there. And then on the other side is where I'll show you, I had scrapbook, which I'll show you in a second, and all the presents were over there. So let me find my scissors. So I'm gonna have to get my husband to bring the ladder back inside. I could do it, but why should I? And then moving along, these I just spray painted. They were lanterns. So if you haven't watched a lot of my videos, especially my crafting videos, I keep everything. When it comes to crafting and like decorating, I don't keep like clothes or I don't know, other stuff. I don't have a lot of like collections, but I do like decorations. So these are from my high school prom circa 2014. They have been traveling with me for a minute, and I spray painted them. They were purple and blue. And so they're just like little moons. I just thought they were cute and added some more like height to the, you know, swag. And then I also had outside, I had a welcome tent. I'll insert a picture. I had a tent. So because this was a camp theme, I'm kind of all over the place, but I think you'll get the idea. It was a camp theme, so we had people check in at the check-in tent, and it had this to the moon sign, and then I also borrowed a poster that someone had. So we had that outside for decorations, and then when they went to the check-in table, I bought a bunch of these badges. So I bought the pack of badges on Amazon, and then I bought the lanyards too. So I put them together, and then I made these tags. So when you checked in at the check-in table, you could be a camp counselor, and it says top secret clearance and your little scanning badge, like for the scanners, and then you can write your name. And then I also had a bunch of stickers on the table inside so people could decorate them. My friend Caroline is a nurse, so I made her the camp nurse, and so she put little stickers all over her badge. I mean, ideally they would have put stickers on the paper, but like, it's fine. I've got plenty. They weren't very expensive. They kind of look like this. So everybody was wearing like their little lanyards all day, and it looked so cute. And then if you wanted to be a camper, we had campers. And then also if you didn't want to like participate, you could be a visitor. So I made little visitor badges too. So I thought about putting these on Etsy. I think if I sell these, I'd have to get rid of the NASA logo because, yeah. Maybe I'll use the Space Camp logo like on hers. It says Camp Bear, but I can get rid of the Camp Bear part. So yeah, I just thought that was really cute. It was a lot of fun. It was really funny to get people like to sign in and to like participate and kind of like buy in. I feel like I've read a lot of books, not a lot. I read a book once. I read one book. No, I read a book about party planning and the intention behind the party and the party experience. So it was important to me to not only create a summer camp feel, so the intent behind that was to get people to buy in and want to play games. I think if you just like are gonna have games and people show up and then everybody's like, well, I don't really want to play. But if you have people come, they're coming to camp, we had them sign in, they had to pick. I honestly didn't give a lot of people choices. I was like, you're gonna be a camper, you're gonna be a counselor. So I felt like I would have enough people to play games. And I think it just really helped people whenever we were playing games and just, like I said, the vibe of the party. And then the other thing when it comes to decorations is like the atmosphere that you're creating. You kind of want to build upon whatever your theme is. So I'll show you. Like I said, you want to create the vibe, and to me that starts before they get inside or even before they got to our house. So I made these signs. This is a foam board that I quartered. So it's like, you know, I took a giant foam poster board, cut it into 4 pieces, and then I cricketed this, and then I took the leftover piece of paper that I had cut all the stars out of on my Cricut because it had this cool pattern, and I spray painted the back of the board, and then I cut out on my Cricut Camp Bear, and I have several that had arrows, so when they got to our subdivision there were Camp Bear signs that like directed you to camp, kind of like what would happen if you were actually going to camp. And everybody was like very complimentary. They thought they were very cute. It got people really excited. So by the time they got to our house, it was like, oh, we're at camp, we made it. Like it was cute. I'm glad I did it. It might be overkill, but that is the vibe, is the crafty vibe. My heart made me do it. So I had to do it. It's so cute. I have this made. I made this. I did not have it made. And then what else? Oh, for the stickers, I just bought stickers at Hobby Lobby. This is like a leftover sheet. And then they had bought this like 50 pack of NASA stickers on Amazon. I probably didn't need these. I think these were enough. I had like 2 or 3 sheets of these, but if you just wanted extra stickers, and they were cute. I had them all laid out, so it's kind of like decor. I also bought this little space balloon, little rocket ship, and I just had it sitting on the table. I thought that was really cute. And then we can go over here. I made this cute little birthday banner. I'm gonna put it away and bring it out for obviously other birthdays. And then we had this table, and then what I had on this table, so this is a party tip, or you know, if you have kids, this is good. I started this scrapbook on his first birthday, and my idea was I wanted someplace to put all this stuff because I just don't really know, we don't really know what's gonna happen in the world. And not in a scary way, just in a photos and storage way. Like obviously my parents have hard copies of all the photos from our childhood, but if all of the photos that I have of him are on my phone and something happens to that between now and when he turns 18, I wanted a place to have some of those. I know that sounds a little dark, but you would have to be in my brain. Anyways, I wanted something that I could keep a lot of photos in and not have a heavy lift. Like I didn't want to be doing something every couple weeks where I was like printing photos. I was like, okay, once a year I can do that. So what I did was I got a scrapbook and I printed out all of my favorite photos of him for the year. So here we have his 3, 6, 9 month pictures. I still have to put his 12 month in here. And then I had people that came to his birthday party write him a note. So he's got notes from me and Dad, notes from his grandparents, and I also included little blips of like his favorite toy at the time, his favorite food, his favorite show, the invitation to his party. He was turning 1, and then it was a bumblebee theme. It was Happy Bee Day. And so I just have little bumblebee stickers everywhere. So we did that for his first birthday, and then for his second birthday, obviously, I included a lot of the cutouts that I made. The two and this rocket were on his cake, his card, or his invitation, some of the badges, and then just little notes from some of the people that came to the party, some pictures that I printed out. This is his first school picture. So I felt like this is a really great way to keep up with a lot of that stuff, and I only have to do it once a year. So it felt like an easy thing to do, and then it's just nice to go back and read notes that people left. And like I told my husband, this got morbid, I don't know, but I'm like, he's gonna love this when we're dead, and he can look back and read all of these sweet notes from like me and his dad and my parents and Zach's parents, and it'll just be a sweet little thing. And then the last little touch that I did that I think is cute is I included pictures of me and Zach, his dad, when we were that age. So you can see his picture and then my husband and me, and just kind of like fun, like genealogically, is that a word? To see how he's changed, how we've changed, who he kind of looked like at that time. I just thought it was like a fun little touch. So that's what was here on this table. People were able to write a note for him, which I think is really sweet. This is like where I was keeping all of the party stuff, in the corner in the kitchen. You saw, I'll insert like what the cake topper looked like when it was completely like on the cake, but I just cut out like bigger versions of some of the garland pieces that I showed you earlier, and I glued them onto, like, these are skewers. I like cut that skewer down so it was shorter, and then like some toothpicks. So it was just like a cute little cake. I think it was a cute topper. It didn't cost me any money. And then I did buy these candles. I didn't end up using them, but I thought these were cute. Oh, we need to talk about the games too. So I bought these medals from Hobby Lobby for our winners. So for the games, like I said, we had people sign in, and when they signed in, they got to choose to be a camper or a camp counselor. Obviously there were some people who wanted to be visitors because they were like older or whatever. They didn't have to play. But if you were a camper, you had to sign in, and if you were a camp counselor, you were assigned a role. So I had people that were doing the games, and then I had people that were just, you know, like helping out. I also had a couple people that were the team captains. Once I knew who all of my campers were and my camp counselors were, I divided them up. So I assigned 3 of our camp counselors to be team leaders. So we had a yellow team, an orange team, and a blue team. And then I assigned the campers to those teams. And we didn't have a ton of people. I think there were about 30 people here, which is a lot. But when you start dividing everybody up, it's not as many as you think. So I had, I think, 3 people on each team plus their team captain. So like 4 people per team. And we had several games set up. I had a disc toss game that we were calling the saucer toss, like a flying saucer. We had our cornhole boards out. So instead of playing cornhole, it was just, instead of playing cornhole, we just had the boards side by side, and people could try and get the beanbags into the hole. And then we had, which I think is funny, I got these and printed them. It is all the planets on little cards. So I cut them out, and they had to put the planets in order, and they were timed. So that was really funny, just watching adults, because most people don't remember the order of the planets. I think they have a general idea, but it was just very funny to watch. We didn't really keep a ton of, like, we didn't really keep score for that section. It was more just like getting people playing games. And then our final game was the moon rock hunt. So I got 200 rocks out of my yard, and I spray painted them all this metallic silver. These are genuine moon rocks. So they had to go hunt those. We had one of our volunteers, our camp counselors, hide all of the moon rocks in the yard. And when we assigned our teams, we had buckets for all of our team captains. I had cut up a t-shirt for each color. So the orange team, I just cut up an old orange shirt, and they could, you know, put this on their wrist. They could, a couple people tied it around their head, but I just thought it would be fun to have something that signified your team. So, you know, like, we're the orange team. It just, I really wanted them to buy into the whole camp thing. And so that was in their bucket, and then their bucket also, I think my husband already took them off, obviously, but they had a big piece of paper that was the color of their team, so there was like a huge orange piece of paper on here so that you could see what your team color was. And the way we did the moon rock hunt was all of the buckets were in a row in our driveway, and they had to go run and get a rock and bring it back to their bucket, and they can only pick up one rock at a time. I think it really helps even the playing field because we had like a toddler, several toddlers, lots of littler kids, and then adults. So I didn't think it would be fair if like my husband was like picking up like 10 rocks and my toddler is only picking up one rock. So I think that helped even the playing field. And our team that won was the yellow team, and I think they picked up like 58 rocks or something. It was impressive. I'm sure we'll still be finding moon rocks in our yard for the next, couple years. That is, I think, everything that I made. The only other thing, so the last like area that I decorated was the food. So we had a charcuterie board and veggies and chips and dip, and my husband did like a pulled pork in the crock pot. We made little sandwiches from that. And so what I did was I put toothpicks on some of the cutouts instead of putting them in the garland. They're the same size. They're about like 1.5 inches in size, and we just stuck those in some of the food, like in the sandwiches, in the meat or cheese. And then I also got these star cookie cutters. So we had cheese cut out in stars and placed on the charcuterie board tray, so it looked like very on theme. So I was really happy with how everything turned out. I think it was a really fun birthday. It was definitely very, very memorable and very low lift. Like obviously I did a lot of work. I didn't have to, but like we already had most of the stuff that we played games with. Food was fairly easy. I think the decorations are what took the longest because I just like physically had to make them. We had so much fun. I know my husband and I are definitely gonna remember this. I hope like our family enjoyed it. We're so lucky that we have people that live like close enough by that they could come celebrate our little baby bear turning 2 years old. Thank you for watching. If you have any party tips, leave them below. If you want more party tips from me, I've got a plethora of ideas and information, and I would love to talk your ear off about it. Thank you for watching, and if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time. I'd love to hear from you. If you're having a second birthday, if you're doing the To the Moon theme, please tag me in any of the crafts that you make. I'd love to see them. And just leave me a comment. I love talking to you guys. I don't get a ton of comments, which is fine. I do like hearing from you and getting feedback from you. So if you're so inclined to comment and just shoot me a message, I would love to chat with you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear bear. Happy birthday to you. How old are you, Bear? Can you blow? Can you blow? I know. Can you blow? Don't touch the candle.
Hello, Bear. Y'all can help. You want to help?
You
can help. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Good job.